What's going on YouTube? Jamie the Kid 00 here, back with probably the deck profile that you've all been waiting for. I know loads of you have been commenting on my Facebook and my YouTube, most recently of all really, saying that you're really excited for this deck profile, so I'm kind of happy to say I'm going to bring it to you. As you will have seen the title, this is going to be the deck profile of the Gem Knight deck that I talked about many months ago, back when I was still at university. I'm still not happy with it simply because we're only up to Hidden Arsenal 6, and a lot of the stuff that makes it really consistent and gets rid of your dead cards like Gem Armadillo still hasn't come out. It will be in Hidden Arsenal 7, cards like Lazuli, Seraphi, and Zirconia. So I'm still really not happy with the deck, but this is the build that I've come up with so far. I'll probably talk about the things that I would take out at a later date, you know. And I'll probably do another Gem Knight discussion video. But for now, this is the deck profile of what is TCG legal. I've got one proxied Citrine because I couldn't get another Citrine, but I know you guys really want to see the video, so hell, I thought I'd make it anyway. Anyway, let's get into the deck profile. We'll start off with the Gem Knights themselves. We, of course, are playing the 3 Garnets, which is your Sabersaurus of the deck. This plays the Rescue Rabbit engine, and the normal monsters really are the power cards of the deck. So we play the Triple Garnet, 1900 beta, Pyro. The Pyro will become very important, as will the Thunder element of Gem Knight Tourmaline. Tourmaline is your 1600 to 1800 Carbazules. I much prefer it to Carbazules simply because it has a higher defense points, and you can set it and be relatively happy that it will stay alive unless you're playing against heroes and things like that. But otherwise, it's a pretty safe bet face down. And it is a Thunder, which will, of course, become more important as we go on. But that rounds off our normals. This is just the Rabbit engine that you need to play. No further comments there. Following on, Gem Knight wise, we play triple Gem Knight Obsidian. This is the absolute power card of the deck, simply because when this card is sent to the graveyard from your hand, you get to special summon one of your normal monsters, and quite often you'll have, say, at the start of a turn, this Gem Knight Fusion and Rabbit in hand. You go Rabbit, get 2 normal Gem Knights, Gem Knight Fusion off this and a normal Gem Knight into any of your Gem Knight Fusions. This will then special summon the normal monster you used. You can then banish him to get back the Gem Knight Fusion, and just continue to go off with the special summon back Gem Knight and your original Gem Knight that you had on the field from the Rabbit. So it just basically lets you combo off much more by giving you more Gem Knights to play with and more Gem Knights to fuse off. And of course he stays in the graveyard, so you instantaneously get your Gem Knight Fusion back. And then he's also really good fun to Levier, which I'll talk about in a bit. I only play 1 Amber in this build. I was playing 2 on Dueling Network, but I've kind of gone off Amber, especially seeing as this build plays Tour Guides at the moment, so Levier is far superior to Amber. But in the Hidden Arsenal 7 build with no Tour Guides, I will be playing Triple Amber. Moving on to the actual Gem support cards, we play Triple Gem Armadillo. It's great fun to have Stratos at 3, isn't it? This card will search out any Gem Knight monster from your deck to your hand, so you will always be searching your Obsidians for your pluses. In the Hidden Arsenal 7 build, you're able to Gem Knight Fusion this off for Gem Knight Zirconia because it's a rock. But sadly, it's going to stay dead on the field in this deck because you don't have Zirconia, which is really quite sad, but oh well. But it's still a 1700 Stratos that is really great. It's just, I wish we had other ways to search Gem Knight Fusion. If it was Gem Knight card, it'd be absolutely amazing, but sadly, it's only good for turboing you into your Obsidians. So, I don't know how I feel about it. I might take it down eventually. Then, because we don't have Lavarval Chain at the moment, I'm playing Triple Gem Turtle. I really don't like Turtle, mainly because it slows the deck down, and it's quite a fast deck when it goes off, but without this card, without the power card, you're really just not going to go anywhere. So you really need to search out as fast as possible, and Turtle is the only search option we have at the moment. Once we get Lavarval Chain, we'll be able to Foolish it, but otherwise, you have to play these in this Hidden Arsenal 6 build. And again, because it's a rock, we don't have Zirconia yet, so it's going to stay dead on the field, but 2k defense is nice, I guess. It's just it gets destroyed quite a lot. Then we go on to the expensive stuff. We play Triple Rescue Rabbit simply because of the normal monsters. This card in itself gets you, very simply, 2 monsters to Gem Knight Fusion with, but it will also get you 2 monsters that you can then go on to abuse with Obsidian. Xyz into stuff. It gives you options. The cards that I would probably be the first things to take out from the deck are Triple Tour Guide. I don't like them in this deck. They don't really serve a purpose other than just giving you kind of more options. Because the deck is really weak when it isn't about to go off. I mean, think Dino Rabbit in Grind Game, but even worse. because they don't have any Evolzars. So these give you a few more options, I guess, but they're really not the ideal cards for the deck. You just want to have more Gem Knights. So these will probably be coming out for Gem Knight Lazuli, because Lazuli is so much better, and a Future Fusion if that's still legal when Hidden Arsenal 7 is around. And then we play the one-side game. And then to continue with the Advantage Engine, because of our Citrine OTKs, we play triple Volcanic Shell. I'm really happy I managed to get these in Ultimate. A lot of people have heard me ranting and raving about them. Because of the very fact that Citrine requires one Pyro, and this is a Pyro, as you heard me talking about before, the main key to this deck is just to keep your currency flowing, keep your materials coming to hand, and the very fact that you can ditch this off of Gem Knight Fusion, make a Citrine, then pay 500 and get another one to your hand, and then ditch that. I wish it wasn't once per turn, because then you could cycle through to 3 Citrines, but as long as you have another Garnet that's come back off of an Obsidian or something like that, because you can ditch this and Obsidian and get basically a free Gem Knight back, so you get a normal monster and another shell. So you can essentially make 3 Citrines very easily with shells, so I really love this card in here. It's incredibly dead on its own, but kind of the payoff is worth it. That rounds off the monster lineup anyway. That's a lot of monsters. There aren't that many spells and traps, but again, it's a monster-heavy deck because it's just a deck that does pushes. I don't play this defensively. There are no Veilers and no Gores because the deck is just built to push. On to spells. Play the 1 Reborn, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Storm, and 1 Book. These are absolutely staple. The Booking just mainly for flipping things face down that are causing your OTKs to stall and things like that. We played double Space Typhoon. I don't feel the need for 3 because you don't Solemn Warning a Gem Knight Fusion. The only card that this deck is really afraid of is Torrential Tribute. It's absolutely paranoid of it because you can waste so many resources and run into a Torrential Tribute. Quite often, if my opponent knows how I'm playing, like Game 2, and if I think they have a Torrential Tribute face down, I'll act like I'm going off, and then before I would make my last move into like the 3rd Citrine where they Torrential, I will just leave it, and therefore they have a dead Torrential. But I'd only really do that against an intelligent player that knows what the deck is meant to do. Then going along with the whole Torrential theme, and because of the fact that Citrine isn't that big, I play double Lance. It's just a really versatile card. I really like it from my Dino Rabbit days, so it's not at all bad. Then, to help with consistency issues, I play 2 Duality, because when you're not going off, you're searching for Gem Knight Fusion. So it just helps you dig for your Gem Knight Fusion or your turtles. And then, of course, we play the money card of the deck. I say money card. The power card. Triple Gem Knight Fusion. Absolutely nutty. It's a polymerization that can keep coming back to your hand. Polymerization on crack. What more could you want? This card alone makes the deck incredible. That's the spells. And then, finally, I played double Royal Decree for the aforementioned Torrential Tribute Fear, because I'm not afraid of any other trap in this deck. Except for maybe Skill Drain, but Skill Drain, meh. On to the extra deck. To start things off, we play 3 of the best cards in the extra triple Gem Knight Citrine. This is my proxy, Flame Swordsman, because he's awesome. Citrine is absolutely amazing. I'm going to read it to you now. He must be first be fusion summoned, so he can be reborn later. If this card attacks or is attacked, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. This includes all things such as Gores, Raikos, any recruiters like Mystic Tomato and Sangan, anything that would activate before the damage step or in the damage step. This just completely stops, and it's absolutely incredible. The very fact that you can deal 66 straight, and there is no Gores and no Tragodia and no anything like that that's going to come out and threaten you. Because this, with Citrines, they're quite small, and they fear Gores. And then, if you're feeling like there's a problem monster on the field and you just can't get around it, you can, of course, Citrine loop and go into this guy, and then steal that problem monster, and it is yours forever. So that's always great fun. Either way, triple Citrine. Then, for our, probably the second highest MVP, double Prismora. This is what we were saying about the Thunders. This is your Pyro guy. These are your Thunder guys. The deck runs 4 Thunders, and to be honest, I wish you could play more. This card is equally amazing, because of the very fact that its effect requires you to send 1 Gem Knight card, not Gem Knight monster, Gem Knight card, from your hand to the graveyard to destroy 1 card face up on the field. So it's the very fact that you have, remember, that amazingly cycling infinite card called Gem Knight Fusion. So you just cycle this back to your hand and then ditch it for Prismora, and it's a free destruction, so you're +1 in really. as long as you didn't banish a card that you needed. So that's really amazing. And it's 2450, so it gets over Largia, gets over Dolka and crazy stuff like that. So it's really only weak to Utopia. So it's quite an awkward card for Dino Rabbit and things of that nature. Then at the moment I'm playing one Amethyst. I really don't like Amethyst normally, but I'm playing Leviair in this deck due to Tour Guide, and the very fact that you can go Leviair, bring back a banished Obsidian, add Gemknight Fusion back to your hand, Gemknight Fuse off this and Obsidian. Gemknight Fuse the Leviair and Obsidian into this, which revives a normal monster. You then banish said Obsidian for the Gemknight Fusion, fuse this, and the normal monster Obsidian got out, and therefore you have a free Trunade for your combo. It's not amazing, and it's not a main win condition of the deck, but a Trunade is always nice, because it will force the opponent's Torrential along the way. Then for another couple of one-offs, we play one Gemknight Ruby, which helps you get into which helps you beat over really big targets, for the very fact that if you fuse this with a Garnet and Obsidian, you can make this pretty huge, because Obsidian will just bring back the Garnet, and then you tribute the Garnet and attack into something. And if you think your opponent has a face-down Raikou or a face-down Sangan or something like that, you're going to poke for massive damage because he's piercing. And then another pretty awesome card, but I don't play it too much. It's these two are the kind of in the event you need it cards. They're not amazing, but they're pretty good. We play one Topaz. I don't play Aquamarine. Topaz is pretty cool because he can attack twice, and everything that he kills, your opponent takes the damage equal to its attack, not original attack. So that's pretty cool. I'm just reading the cards as we go along. But yeah. Sorry about this, guys. I'm pretty tired. I had to get up early because I'm gonna head out to the cinema to watch Dark Knight Rises in a bit. So forgive the quality of video as per usual, because Jamie the Kid is always tired. Anyway, that rounds off the fusions. We play no synchros in this deck, but we do play Exceeses for now. The final deck really only plays like 3, but this deck plays a few. Play one Leviathan Dragon for muscle, one Leviair for bringing back your Obsidians and comboing. Play one Zenmains because Zenmains is beast. One Utopia because you make 4s a lot. One Gemknight Pearl because you got to play a Gemknight Pearl. One Vylon Dissigma. I really like Dissigma in this deck because you can churn out level 4s so fast, it's not even funny. So Dissigma's really cool. It's a relinquished, basically. So it's great fun. And then finally, to round things off, we play one Big Eye because we play all of these 7s, except for Flame Swordsman. All of these 7s that you can really easily get out. So if your opponent has a really bad problem monster that you can't Prismora, you can't beat over with Citrine. So say your opponent has like a Stardust Dragon, you can just steal it with Big Eye by looping 2 of these guys out. So it's a pretty good card in this deck. I was considering playing Lucky Straight, but you don't need it. You don't need Lucky Straight. And some people will say, well, if you're going by that nature, why aren't you playing Fulton Strike Bouncer for 6s? My answer to that is I just quite simply do not have the room. Either way, guys, this has been my kind of first draft of the Gemknight deck that I'm going to be playing for this format, at least, until Hidden Arsenal 7 comes out. I'll probably still be playing my top tier decks, but I will definitely be piloting this at locals or 3. So stay tuned for a tournament diary on this, but I'm not sure how I'm going to do what I'm going to do about this. I'm considering taking out the Tour Guide engine and the decrees for an actual trap lineup. So let me know your thoughts on that. Otherwise, this has been Jamie the Kid 00 with a Gemknight deck profile, and I will see you guys pretty soon with a discussion video on them. Peace out. Bye.